how your childhood shapes the way you love. Before you ever learned how to love someone else, love was already teaching you who you were. This truth often goes unnoticed because childhood feels distant, like a closed chapter. Yet it quietly lives inside every relationship we build as adults. The way we give love, ask for it, fear it, or run from it is deeply rooted in the moments when we were small, observant, and learning what love meant without words. This is a story about how childhood doesn't stay in the past. It walks with us into every connection we form. As a child, love is not something we define. It is something we experience. It is the tone of a parent's voice, the consistency of their presence, the warmth or absence of affection. Some children grow up feeling safe, knowing that if they fall, someone will pick them up. Others grow up learning that love is unpredictable here one moment, gone the next. These early lessons quietly shape the emotional blueprint we carry into adulthood. For those who were raised in homes filled with reassurance and emotional availability, love later feels natural and safe. They grow up believing that affection does not have to be earned through pain or sacrifice. When conflicts arise, they expect communication instead of abandonment. Their childhood taught them that love can be steady, kind, and reliable. So they look for the same qualities in their partners without fear. But not every childhood is gentle. Some children learn love through absence. They learn to be quiet, to not ask for too much, to survive emotionally on their own. When love felt conditional, based on good behavior, silence, or achievement, they internalized the idea that being loved means being enough only when they perform well. As adults, these children often become people who overgive, overthink, and fear being replaced. There are also those who grew up in chaotic homes where love came mixed with anger, shouting, or unpredictability. For them, love never felt calm. It felt intense. As adults, peace can feel unfamiliar, even boring. They may confuse emotional highs and lows with passion, mistaking stability for disinterest. Without realizing it, they seek relationships that recreate the emotional patterns of their childhood because familiarity feels safer than healing. Childhood also teaches us how to handle vulnerability. If a child's feelings were dismissed, stop crying. You're too sensitive. They learn to hide their emotions. As adults, they struggle to open up, fearing judgment or rejection. They may love deeply but silently, believing that expressing needs is a weakness. Their partners may never know how much they care, only how distant they seem. On the other hand, children who are allowed to express emotions freely grow into adults who can name their feelings without shame. They understand that love involves honesty, not perfection. When they are hurt, they speak instead of withdrawing. This emotional fluency becomes one of their greatest strengths in relationships. Our attachment styles are not random. They are stories written long before we knew how to read them. The child who was constantly left alone may become the adult who fears abandonment and clings tightly. The child who was smothered may become the adult who values independence so fiercely that intimacy feels threatening. None of these patterns mean someone is broken. They mean someone adapted to survive. Love, for many adults, becomes a way of reliving unfinished childhood conversations. We search for partners who can finally give us what we missed: attention, validation, safety, or understanding. Sometimes we don't fall in love with a person. We fall in love with a hope that this time things will be different. This is why love can feel so intense. It is not just about the present, but about healing the past. Yet awareness changes everything. When we begin to understand how our childhood shaped us, love stops being automatic and starts becoming intentional. We learn to pause instead of react, to communicate instead of withdraw, to choose healthier patterns over familiar pain. Healing doesn't mean blaming parents or reliving trauma endlessly. It means recognizing where certain behaviors came from and deciding whether they still serve us. The most powerful moment in love is when we stop asking, "Why am I like this?" and start asking, "What do I need now?" The child inside us wanted safety, reassurance, and acceptance. The adult version of us can learn to provide that, not only through partners, but through self-compassion and emotional growth. In the end, childhood shapes the way we love, but it does not decide how our story ends. Love is not just repetition. It is evolution. When we choose to understand our past instead of running from it, we give ourselves the chance to love differently, more honestly, and more freely. And sometimes, the greatest act of love is becoming the person your younger self needed all along.